Aloha Kako. My name is Jacob Berry, proud alumnus of Kamehameha School's class of 2018, and this is the Kauhale. We are the Kauhale Alumni Band. Mr. Harris earlier mentioned that playing an instrument in the band is like riding a bike. I would describe it more as walking after losing control of your legs and then having to run a marathon in 4 weeks. So you guys are in for a good treat. But I just wanted to emphasize the theme of Kauhale, of community that Mr. Harris and Kumulari, that Mr. Kinoshita spoke about. And this group right here really represents that. We have people such as myself who took band every year that we were there, all 7 years. Some of us maybe 1 year. And then we also have members who are just in the community, family, friends, people from other schools, and we're just united by that love of music and want to make music together and to be a part of that community. And to that end, I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge someone who is truly, I think, instrumental, no pun intended, to not only the music program here at Kamehameha Schools, but this broader music community, and that is Mr. Wayne Kawakami. Was my high school band teacher, and someone that really kind of instilled that, along with Mr. Harris. Let's not forget about him. So thank you folks very much. Hope you enjoy our performance.
Sorry, they were a little scared. I guess they didn't know what was going on. But I do want to point out there's something very cool in this band. Can all the beginners stand up for a high school student? Yeah. Okay. And maybe their relatives stand up? That's in the band? Yeah, we got mothers and daughters and sons in here from beginning till plus. So again, something so special. So I just want to point that out. That's so cool. They get to play in a band together and it makes the music. All right.
Thank you very much. How are you guys feeling? The first day we had them, they're all like rubbing their mouths and like massaging their heads and everything. This is awesome to have them here, and I can't tell them that enough. This next person, well, Jacob already introduced him, but Mr. Kawakami is going to come up and conduct the next 3 songs. He's actually the one that made this high school program. Him and I worked together for about 13 years. Me at the middle school, and then him at the high school. He's great. He'll shake his head if when he hears this, and I always tell him this, but he was really a mentor to me. Because I was just a young teacher when you and I started. And so I learned so much from him when we did it. And we had this little system going on, and just really had a machine going together. And then one day he says, I'm tired, I want to retire. So he retired. But it is a great honor to be able to do this with him, and I'd like to bring Mr. Kawakami up and conduct this next 3 pieces. Mr. Dave?
Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here this evening. I'd first like to thank Mr. Harris and Mr. Kimishita for organizing this event. And the other thing is, it's been about 8 years since I retired, and I feel very honored and fortunate to be working with students that I haven't seen in over 15 years. So it's a treat. And then there's other students that not too long, and then I get to meet a lot of community people as well. I'd like to share one thing. I hope I don't choke up. I was encouraged to teach music and play music by several important people in my life. One, my wife, Jerry. She's always been supportive of my profession. Another is and she was a trained, but she studied piano, and she was very encouraging. So she bought a lot of my instruments and gave me a lot of opportunities. So like without her, I probably wouldn't have a special experience. The other person was my mom, and she didn't have any lessons, and she just learned it on her own, and she would just play with so much joy and love music. And when I came back from college, I would watch her play, and basically I was just happy just watching her play. And this band has given me an opportunity to see that joy and happiness just playing. And so, thank you guys. So, please enjoy.
Thank